The Democratic Space Station is the single most potent piece of weaponry in the entirety of Super Earth's arsenal. Its presence can shift any front line in Super Earth's favor and was the biggest factor to Super Earth successfully repelling the Illuminate during the invasion of Super Earth. This behemoth of a ship is one of the most pivotal pieces of weaponry that Super Earth has to offer in the Second Galactic War. The Emperor of Space, a beacon of democracy. This video will dive deep into just how powerful, pivotal, and prestigious democracy's heart of power really is. The true heart of Super Earth's power. This is... The Democratic Space Station is a monster by any regards. Would you believe me if I said that every piece of explosive liberty on all 19 million super destroyers combined still doesn't stand a chance in comparison to the DSS? Yes, the same super destroyers that I scaled to multi-continental in my video last month. The ships that have a combined total explosive yield of 38 pentatons of primed penetration. It's Liberty's finest expression of democracy, and Super Earth's actual super weapon, capable of switching the tides of battle in an instant. There's a reason the Illuminate immediately targeted the DSS before they reached Super Earth. The moment that the DSS came back to the front lines on Super Earth on day 9 of the invasion, the Illuminate fleet were pushed off in less than 48 hours. The DSS is the only weapon in Super Earth's arsenal that can single-handedly wipe celestial bodies off the galactic map on its own, with a test being a showcase of freedom by annihilating a small moon. Yes, an entire moon on its own, which not even the combined Super Destroyer Armada can achieve, at least not on the scale that the DSS did. The fragments of the moon that the DSS destroyed are almost the size of moonlets and small moons on their own, as showcased here. I believe this proves that the moon will only be small in comparison to our own moon, so we can assume it's a mid-sized moon of about 100 to 400 kilometers, which makes it about 10 to 20% of our own moon size. And this makes the DSS way crazier than most people think. This is further supported by the fact that there's almost 1.5 million free citizens employed inside of the Democracy Space Station, which is about the same amount of people that live in the real world's Estonia, which further supports the idea that it destroyed a moon that's a couple hundred kilometers in size, as it has the same amount of employees as a country that is a couple hundred kilometers in diameter. To destroy the moon, you have to expend tens of exatons of TNT. This dwarfs the total yield of all other weaponry in Super Earth's democratic ships combined. And these types of numbers are the reason why such a beast sends shivers down the invertebrate Illuminate's squid spines, having to render it useless for most of their invasion. The total explosive output required to destroy the moon is 29.6 exatons of TNT. If we divide that by either 5 or 10, we get the output of the DSS, which will divide by 10 to be safe. This would equate this Goliath's damage to 2.96 exatons of TNT, almost 78 times more democratic than the output of the entire Super Destroyer's armada put together. This will put the Democracy Space Station in the higher end of multi-continental ranges of power. And this is using a feat of destroying a moon as a goddamn test.
Democracy Space Station has completed its first test fire, successfully destroying a small moon. It is now ready to enter operation.
Sweet Liberty. This implies that the capabilities are even greater than what we have experienced so far, and it may even be a proper moon to small planet level buster at full power. It looks like the time for the DSS to show its true capabilities is slowly coming around as the Ministry of Truth leaks reveal that the automatons may be working on a complete terraformation of Cyberstan into a Death Star type of weapon. If the DSS does have capabilities similar to the Death Star type of weapon, it would align perfectly with how Super Destroyers are similar to Star Destroyers, and this may mean that Helldivers could enter a whole new type of combat system, one we've been asking for a long time, hoping for a long time. Battles in space, or at least some sense of off-ground warfare, maybe even ship infiltration. To not go too far off topic and to properly put into perspective what this means, Helldivers and Super Destroyers are kind of becoming obsolete, at least in some sense. Even though they are genetically modified 7-foot superhumans capable of withstanding attacks that rupture buildings and being able to tear apart steel plates with ships that overshadow the biggest bomb ever created in the real world, the Tsar Bomber, by orders of magnitude, the Democracy Space Station is the father of democracy. the Emperor of Liberty. It is called a super destroyer for a reason. This celestial busted Democratic Deity has shifted the tide of the Second Galactic War since its arrival, and it will not stop doing so. The Helldivers super destroyers and DSS are the bulk of Super Earth's forces, with a total ordnance possibility capable of busting moons and small planets, though the raw output we've seen so far hardly puts them at the moon level ranges. But we aren't even halfway through the Second Galactic War, so things will only get more absurd, and the DSS and super destroyers have way more to show. I originally started this series of Helldivers breakdowns to make a silly scale for the Super Destroyers in the spring of this year, and followed it up with an actual proper well done scale where I fixed my mistakes. The recent Helldivers video is a comeback, bringing back this short mini-series of Helldivers scales to bring us this finale. The Democratic Space Station is truly a marvel of Super Earth's capabilities and power. I believe it's only a matter of time until we see the DSS destroy a planet and wipe it off the galactic map, the same way Super Earth used dark technology to create a meridian black hole which collapsed an entire planet. So at the end of the day, saying Super Earth is incapable of destroying planets will be very silly, as this nation could manipulate the entire galactic map to their liking if they so wished. That is the true power of Super Earth. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this? What is this? This major order came out during the editing phase of this video, and I just genuinely need to talk about it. The new magma planets controlled by the automatons open a whole new window of power for our average Helldiver. Helldivers can now carry and toss half-ton platinum ingots, and can traverse and stay on planets that cannot properly sustain human life without any additions to their armor. This essentially sets in stone that Helldivers are a whole different level of insane and superhuman. This level of power is even achievable by the weakest of all Helldivers. And with that being said, Helldivers 2 has been a journey of ups and downs, in-game, in the community, and in our lives, but Helldivers 2 gives us something that no other game does the same. Look back at the invasion of Super Earth, the fight for Oshune, the battle for Malevelon Creek. These are global community experiences that are shaped by us, decided by us, caused by us, and yet we have no idea what awaits as we as a community still trust this game will deliver. I'm damn well sure this game will come back, shake the world once again. Helldivers 2 just got a beta update that reduces its game file size by over 5 times, and it has already doubled in player count since then, so we just have to sit tight and let Arrowhead give us another "we are so back" moment. If you enjoyed this video or any other videos on my channel, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit the like and subscribe button, and check out the rest of this Helldivers miniseries, as just watching my videos means a lot and supports what I'm doing. If you'd like to further support what I do, you can now become a YouTube member for early access to videos just like this one. This has been a journey and a half. The scale of Super Earth's strength is far beyond casual respect, and I hope this miniseries proved that. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.